Hello once again, my fellow Star Trek fans. I'd like to welcome you to another video. Thank you so much for joining me. And this video is going to be pretty cool because it's kind of something that we've been waiting for. You guys know they released the Enterprise D, Polar Lights did. They reissued the kit, and I've shown you that. And what we were doing, before I wanted to start the build, I actually was waiting for the Aztec Decal set. Well, they actually came out. I had gotten a tracking number. I had gotten mine from FabGear USA, and I just got it in the mail. So I'm going to be able to show you guys the latest release of the Aztecing for the USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D. So why don't we go over to the desk where there's more room and there's more light, and I'll show you guys the latest release of the Aztec decals for Captain Picard's Starship. Okay, so just to refresh, this is the latest issue of the USS Enterprise from round 2. This is the AMT kit, and this is a reissue. This one is in translucent plastic, so it'll be nice to light because it'll diffuse the lights in the windows. And you can see this is in 1/1400 scale of the Enterprise. So maybe if I shut out or turn off the light, it might be better with the glare. You can see the beautiful, beautiful illustration of the Enterprise D. And this looks like it could be the finished model, and they could have just superimposed the lighting on it. But to show you guys because I did a complete unboxing on this kit for you guys. I'll put the link in the description if you want to watch it. But these are the decals that come with it. You can see this is the decal sheet. Includes a huge 9-inch by 13-inch full-color decal sheet featuring bonus USS Enterprise Syracuse registries. And we're going to get into that because what I want to do is during Star Trek Picard, they bring back the Enterprise D. And what Geordi was saying was when it had crashed on Veridian 3, what happened was because of the Prime Directive, they had to go back and retrieve the primary hull. So they ended up getting that. But if you remember, the star drive was destroyed in Star Trek Generations. So what they ended up doing when Geordi surprised them in Season 3 of Star Trek Picard, they were at the Starfleet Museum. He had spent a long time restoring the Enterprise D. And the star drive section they actually used from the USS Syracuse. So what I want to do with this one is we're going to make the D for the primary hull. And from everything down, from the battle section, the secondary hull to the nacelles, we're going to make the USS Syracuse. So anyway, those are the decals that come with the kit. And I'm going to put the light back on because I'm going to show you guys I had gotten, you can see that it was packaged really well, because they know how the mail carriers can be. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open it up. Let me see if I can get in from the side. No, I actually have to open it up. Okay, so let's... Alright. So let's go ahead and open the whole thing up. And just to show you guys, I got mine from FabGear USA. This was actually a pre-order. I love this site for the pre-order things. Alright, so let me see. Let me get the decals set out. And is there anything else in it? That's it. Alright, let me just bear with me. I'm going to put the box aside. Okay. So I actually got two. One of them is the one we're going to use, and then I wanted to keep another one that was sealed, just because I had gotten the same thing. We got to have the model kit that's going to be sealed, and we're going to use that for illustration. So we're going to put one of these aside. So let's see. This one's in better condition. We're going to open up this one. So let me put this to the side. All right. So they have staples in it that's keeping the cardboard pieces together. And you can see there's like a bag on the inside. Let me see if I can, here we are. Try to get it out a little bit more, widen the shot. Because these are really big, it's a large size. So you can see on the front, it has a picture of, it feels like there's more than one sheet in here, but we'll find out in a minute. But you can see the Aztecing and the different, well, not the Aztecing yet, but the different decals, and I love the blue. Kind of like what it's going to look like in Generations, with that bluish hue to it. And authentic surface detailing, and you can see the absolutely gorgeous Enterprise D. Looking at the back, you can, and this looks like it actually could be the model, just like the model kit itself. You can see the back with all the Aztecing, and again, I love that blue. So this is actually 4 sheets, and it shows you all of the sheets. And we got the Aztec paneling decals cover most of the model's surface, and you can see another beautiful photograph. And again, I think that's the model where they overlaid the lights, looking like they were lit. The Aztec Decal set, the next generation for 1/1400 scale USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D. Aztec decals from AMT provide authentic paneling details that can be difficult to achieve by painting. Yes, because I'm in the process, let me see and show you guys real quick, of doing the 4-color Aztecing for the Enterprise refit in 1/350 scale, and that's just a lot more work than I thought. These high-quality waterslide decals lay flat when applied and are compatible with setting solution to conform around the compound curves and the surface details, such as the engraved panels. A dull clear coat is suggested after decals. Try to visually blend the decals to the seal and protect the surface. So it doesn't say that it's compatible with the other models, but I'm pretty sure it's compatible with the 1/1400 scale Enterprise other releases. I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to say it's definite. But you can see this is the Star Trek The Next Generation, and this is item number MKA066-12. And this is a brand new release from AMT Round 2 Corporation. 2000, it shows the contents, 2024 incidentally. Contents include 4 waterslide decal sheets and a placement guide. So that's basically the cardboard exterior. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the staples out. All right, so these are the big heavy-duty staples. And we don't need those anymore, so I'll get rid of those. There. Nice. Okay, so now we'll open this up. We'll pull out the contents in the bag. And I think what we can do is I'll put this to the side and use that as a backdrop. I don't want to cover Titanic. Let's see, we'll put it here. Yeah, that looks cool. All right, I'm going to take all the contents out first, and then we'll go through it. So I want to get to the directions first. Again, this is for AMT MKA066-12, and this is the decal application instructions for the USS Enterprise NCC-1701 1/1400 scale model kit. For best results, read all the instructions thoroughly before beginning the decal application. Apply the Aztec decals before applying the marking decals included in the kit. So we're going to put these on before the registry numbers, etc. These Aztec panel decals will cover the majority of the surface areas of the model. For best results, work slowly and plan ahead. Please note that it is extremely advantageous to apply paint and decals to sub-assemblies before completing the final assembly. These decals are compatible with setting solutions which aid in conforming to the surface of the model, but use caution when applying setting solution. Do not apply the solution until the decal is in the correct position, as this will soften the decal and make it liable to tear or distort. A final coat of the dull clear coat, once decals are applied, will help the decals blend into the surface, hide application imperfections, and protect the decals from chipping and give the ship a finished look. Now when it comes to the decal application, we're going to cut the desired decal from the sheet. It would be helpful to include the part number with the decal as you cut it from the sheet, then cut off the number before the decal is applied. Dry fit the trim decal to become familiar with its proper placement. Dip the decal in water for 10 seconds. With the best results, mix 1 drop of common dishwashing detergent per cup of lukewarm water. And I do that all the time. What the dish soap actually does is it acts as a humectant. It actually makes the water wetter because it breaks the surface tension, and it's able to be saturated into the decal better. Place the wet decal on paper towel and wait 30 to 60 seconds until the decal is movable on the paper backing. Wet the area of the model with decal applied to the area. For larger areas, it is best to use excessively wet the area to the point of dripping to aid positioning. Hold the decal face up in position on the model and slide backing away from under it. Next, apply position correctly. Absorb the excess water with a paper towel. Starting at the center of the decal, blot out the air bubbles toward the edges with a soft, damp cloth. And these, some of these decals are pretty large, so we may cut them, and they actually suggest that. Troublesome air bubbles can be rubbed to the edge of the decal with a clean, soft paintbrush. That's what I do. Or simply puncture the decal with a sharp blade. See, I don't do that. Air bubbles must be removed before the decal dries. 9. As the decal starts setting up, a sharp knife can be used to carefully slice the areas with stretch across the shrunken areas like panel lines. The sunken areas, Simply slice through the decal and press the edges down. A few drops of water may aid in laying down the edges. It is best to let the decals dry completely before trimming the excess that may hang over the edges. Finally, we let the decals dry completely before handling or applying more decals next to or on the top of previous work. It is best not to heat to accelerate drying time, as this may crack the decals, affect their adhesiveness, or melt the plastic parts. And again, this is the Aztec decal set for the 1/1400 scale USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D, as seen in Star Trek: The Next Generation. Okay, now we're actually going to go into the instruction sheet. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the top of the saucer section. And you can see there are a lot of decals for the Enterprise. We're doing the Enterprise from Eagle Moss now, and I'm actually going to wait until I'm done that, because I'm almost done that model before we start this one. And again, big reason I wanted to wait for the decals for the Aztecing. But this is the top side, and you can see how it goes all the way around. The inner parts, we get the phaser array, and then the outer parts that are going to go around. You can see the bridge area, B and C decks, going back towards the Shuttle Bay 1, and that would be the decals in the kit that actually have the registry markings. So all this set has are the Aztecing and the different markings that the registry numbers do not. We're going to move over to the bottom side now. You can see again, we're going to start the captain's yacht area, and then we're going to kind of work our way out. I don't think there are any decals that are going along the edge, on the outer edge. I'm not sure if they're going to overhang or if it just stops. But we're going to move on now to the secondary hull, and you can see the top side. We got the nacelle pylons going to the aft end of the ship. And you can see the secondary hull, the top section. Of course, this would be where the dorsal hull is. And then we're going to do the underside. You can see the phaser array and the deflector dish going back towards the aft end. Moving on, we have the nacelles. So you can see the bottom for the port nacelle and the bottom for the starboard side nacelle. And then you can see the tops are both the same. So let's see, moving on to the battle section. The first thing we would do, you can see we do the sides. So this would be the port side and the starboard side. So there are a total of 4 decals for the dorsal hull, for the sides anyway. And then going to the back where shuttle bays 2 and 3 are, you can see the section that goes behind the battle bridge and the engines. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 decals for that section. And then lastly, we have the bottom side of the dorsal hull. And these look like they're pretty large decals. It didn't say on this one to cut them. I think that's what these represent. But it's a good idea to cut the decals, because I know for the decals for the Aztecing on the 1350 Enterprise, they actually suggest cutting them down. So they're easier to work with. You can see, look for more exciting Star Trek model kits from AMT. They re-released the Klingon Battlecruiser, and this will be another build that we're doing. I showed you the unboxing for this, as well as the pre-order. And on the bottom, it shows you this is round 2, 2024 release. So the instructions, there's a lot of decals, but it's pretty basic. So those are the instructions on how to put the decals in place. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the decals themselves. All right, so the first thing, they have the wax paper. So let's do it this way so they don't get in the way. So looking at the first sheet, you can see the bottom of the dorsal hull, and you can see how large they are. So it'd probably be a good idea maybe to trim it, let's see, almost into 3 parts. We could cut it here, put the front on, and then we could cut it along this line where you wouldn't even know that they were cut, and it'll be a lot easier to put into place. Because I learned the hard way with the large decals. You try to do it all at once. If it doesn't line up and you try to adjust it, it could tear, and it's better to just cut them. And take a look at some of the other parts. You can see, I'm not quite sure what those could be, unless they're phaser arrays for the bottom of the nacelle pylons. I'm not sure, but that's the first sheet. All right, so let's move on to the second, and now we'll get into more of the Aztecing panels for the primary hull. Look at that. Again, I love the blue. The blue, the dark blue, the gray, and the dark gray. It'll give her that blue appearance like she looked in Star Trek Generations, and I love that color. I think I love it because it reminds me of the Enterprise A. It's got that blue, that bluish kind of hint to it. So let's take a look at the next sheet. I think I see the area around the captain's yacht. I don't know if that would be the bridge I think that's the area around the captain's yacht. And speaking of the captain's yacht, get that right over there. That would be part number 132. I'll also, after I'm done this, I'm going to put up a video for you guys just specifying the instructions for this, just in case you have it, you don't have the instructions, or whatever the reason. But I'll put up a video of the instructions like I usually do. And again, it might be a good idea to cut some of these. And lastly, I think I see the bridge area. And look, you can see the area that's going to go in the back at the aft end of the ship. You can see where the phaser arrays are. And again, it might be a good idea to cut this section too. You can see the decals for the nacelle pylons. And you can also see them for around the bridge area. I don't think the bridge itself has decals. I think that's just that'll just be painted. But you can see that ring. And again, it's not one piece. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell by looking at the light, but this is a separate section. This is a separate section. And this is a separate section. It might be a good idea to cut this in half to line it up. That way there, we won't worry about tearing it. And those are the 4 sheets of the Aztec decals that come with this decal set. And again, this is for the release, the newest release of the Enterprise. And this is, again, the 1/1400 scale. And I love the blue. And because this is in translucent plastic, what we're going to do is of course we're going to light the ship. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to light the ship first. We're going to get everything in position. All the lights will be working. And then what we're going to do is we're going to paint. So I'll mask off the Bussard collectors. We'll mask off the nacelles, the area that goes around the back, and then we're going to mask off the deflector dish. And we're going to paint the whole thing. We'll paint it in the Enterprise gray. And then we'll go with the drill. And we don't actually have to go through, but we just need to scrape the windows. Because there are going to be some that are going to be lit. I don't think the windows... Yeah, the windows are not included in the decals. So what we would have to do is we're going to go through, and after setting solution and everything is done, we'll actually have to use maybe a razor to go ahead and make sure the windows are visible. But we're absolutely going to light this. See, because this is in translucent plastic, we actually don't have to drill all the way through. And because it's not in clear plastic, it'll look better, because if it was clear, then we'd have to worry about the hot spots. You know, with the bright spots of the light coming through, you'd be able to see sections. But because it's in translucent, it's got that nice diffusing effect for all the light. So I think it's going to work really well. And again, this one that we're going to do is going to have the NCC-1701-D for the primary hull, and we're going to have the U.S.S. Syracuse for the bottom, or the star drive. Again, if you want to check out what's in this kit, I'm going to put the link in the description. But this is the companion set for this model kit. So this was the latest release, and this is the Aztec decals for the latest release of the Enterprise D 1/1400 scale model kit. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you were curious what came in this set as opposed to past sets, I hope this satisfied your curiosity, and I'm going to do a comparison video to see if there's anything different in here as opposed to the last release, because I do have the last release of these Aztec decals. So this is going to be really fun. I'm very fond of the Enterprise D. I think she's beautiful, and I'm very much looking forward to finishing my fan home, previously Eagle Moss build of the USS Enterprise, because then I'm going to start using her in my video intros, like for things for the next generation and that whole area and part of Star Trek. So my friends, until we actually start the build, I thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys really soon.